Wow, it is cold out. Alright guys, we got the 08 in the shop. We got a few things going on with it. We got to get her on the road there for the boys. Stay tuned and we'll show you what's going on with it and we'll get this issue rectified, I hope. Wow, it is cold out. Alright guys, we got the 08 in the shop. We got a few things going on with it. We got to get her on the road there for the boys. Stay tuned and we'll show you what's going on with it and we'll get this issue rectified, I hope. Okay, so what's going on with this? Well, there's a few things. I changed the alternator because the truck kept dying. The battery gauge would drop down obviously and then the truck would die. First thing I did was check the battery, tested the alternator. I mean, it was working on and off, so I assumed that the voltage regulator in the alternator was going, but it did it again. So basically I'm going to have to do a process of elimination with that, but that's not necessarily what I'm doing here today. You can see the water pump pulley right here. It is extremely loose, so we have to change the water pump on this because on the 0857 Ram, the pulley and the pump are one piece, which kind of sucks. It would have made things easier for it to be a two-piece. And we also have code on the dash there, the P2181, which is the coolant system. Something wrong with it. So I did buy a new coolant temperature sensor. We're going to put on because it is buried down there, I believe. And I got to take a bunch of this stuff off, so I'd rather just do it all in one shot. It's a cheap part. I mean, I'm just going to swap it out. I mean, I could do process of elimination with that again, but my time is more valuable to me than a $40 part. Anyways, let's go have a look at these parts here. So here's the alternator that we changed out. That's the new one. It's the Wilson. There's nothing wrong with this one. I'm going to keep it, I think, or I will have it tested by a shop. I don't see a part number on this side here. Turn it. Light. Oh my God, that's blinding. All right, so that's the. It's a 12 volt, 160 amp. I could have got the 130, but this is what they had, and I'm not waiting a month to get an alternator. Anyways, that's the part number there for that. Here's our water pump. There's our water pump. Oh my goodness. Like I said, you can see here that the pulley and the pump are one piece. This is the gasket for it. Comes with a rubber gasket rather than your standard gasket. Anyways, this one's manufactured by World Parts. There's the information on it. Made in China, unfortunately. Alright, well anyways, it is what it is. So we're gonna get cooking on this. I already put the code reader on the machine. Obviously I got a little heater in here working because my goodness has it been cold. And there's something going on with the furnace there. The landlord's gonna get someone here to check it out. Anyways, let's get cracking on this. We'll start tearing her down. Alright. Alright, next thing's next. I'm gonna crawl underneath and we're gonna unhook that lower line and start draining this out, drain the rad out, etc. Let's get her done. Oh, my phone's ringing. Hold on. All right, we got the bottom coolant line off. It's a little messy in there. It's draining. I was gonna drain it through the rad, but here in the north, where we use a lot of salt in the winter months, those tend to get a little seized, and you're almost guaranteed gonna break it. And then you gotta pull the rad out and bring it to a shop. Anyways, so now we're gonna pop the top hose out here. It's connected right to the water pump right there, right by the thermostat housing. And then we're gonna keep tearing her down from there. All right, let's get her done. And if I can flathead, that's a pinch one. So we got a pinch clamp up top, and this one is just a standard hose clamp. Both will work. So, all right. Now I'm gonna get the tensioner up out of the way here. 15mm socket or wrench socket, whatever you want to use. I do have one of my good tool kits at my house. So, anyways. We'll pop this tensioner off, and that should give us a little bit more room, and we'll get back at her. Alright, we got the tensioner off. Here's a tip. Always keep the bolts exactly where they came out, what they came out of. We're even going to do that with the water pump, because you want to put the bolt back in the same spot. Oh, and yeah, don't drop it on the ground. Alright, we got her. Anyways, yeah, it's always a good idea as well to just inspect everything. I mean, this tensioner is in good shape, and it's easy enough to change. Wow, look at that. It's made in Canada. It's not too often I see a part that's made here in Canada. It's usually the States and a lot of the aftermarket stuff. China, it's like, anyways. I don't mean that towards the States. I love the stuff that's made in the States. Good quality stuff comes out of the States. Anyways, yeah, just inspect everything. Yeah, looks good. All right, moving forward. All right, so the next thing, they have this lovely little plate here you got to take off to change the alternator or the air conditioner. So we're just going to take that plate off. It's just three nuts you got to take off, and then there's a bolt just down here. I believe it goes, oop, dropping stuff, goes into something down there. Anyways, let's get that done. Oh my goodness. Alright, I believe most of these little nuts here, I think this one's a 13. I believe the rest are 13 as well. Try not to drop your nuts into your coolant bucket below either. That was not cool. Alright, so we got that bracket out. Oh, that just goes on the motor on the front on these bolts, and the hole in the water pump. So that's got to come out because it is bolted onto the water pump. That's got to come off. There's another bolt underneath the air conditioner here we took off that goes directly through the water pump, right near the thermostat housing, which is on this side underneath the AC pulley. Now we got some other bolts to take off. I'm going to pop this tensioner off right here, or not tensioner, pulley, and then I'll be able to access those nuts around there. This one has got to come off. I got to take that nut off of that bolt there. Yeah, then we start ripping her out of there. We are going to have to pop the washer fluid / coolant reservoir tanks out. Luckily, they're pretty much empty. I don't think, yeah, see, this one's not empty. The coolant reservoir is not empty. Washer fluid is though. I've known that it's needed it for washer fluid for a bit, but I'm like, you know what, I gotta pop that out there. I'm not gonna fill up. Anyways, let's continue tearing this sucker down, shall we? Alright, so I unplugged the electrical for the washer fluid. There's a pump, and I believe there's a sensor down there that indicates when your washer fluid is low. And then disconnect your line from your rod to your overflow. This is a 10mm socket. Bolting this on. This unbolted and get this popped up out of the way because we gotta take the fan shroud off as well. Alright. Oh! Got our reservoirs out. Now we gotta take the rad out, or the fan shroud. Could be just a bolt here and a bolt on this side over. My goodness, that would help. Bolt on this side and a bolt on that side, and that's it to take that out, because it'll just pop into tabs on the bottom, just like the reservoirs. What the hell is that? That's probably a 15-ish. Oh hell no. 13mm. Hopefully it's not too hard to get out of there, because I can't get the fan off the water pump in there. Alright, we're gonna get this fan shroud out of here and then we'll show you what's going on. Alright, so we got the reservoir out, we got the shroud out, give us a lot more room. Now we can start actually taking the water pump out. Super important, all of these bolts you take out of here, even though a bunch of them are going to be identical, you want to put them back in the same holes. Super important. Everything's aluminum, right? You don't want to be ruining it. So there's Mark. Say hi, Mark.
Hey, how's it going?
He's supposed to say hi, Mark. Anyways, what Mark's doing over here, we got the new water pump. He laid it out, kind of, you know, traced it out, put all of the holes in there where the bolts are going to go. So where I take them out, he's going to put them right here. That way we know exactly where they got to go when it's time to put this sucker in, because we got a little bit of cleanup to do after we get the pump out. And then I did get a new coolant temperature sensor, because there is a code on there for it, which I'm pretty sure is buried under the damn AC over here. I had to pop one of those bolts out of the bottom of the AC, so what I think I'm going to do is probably, I'll probably take that one, probably take this one right out. That way I can just kind of tilt it, because I do not want to break these lines. Air conditioning can be good if you're, you know, doing a little bit of a road trip or whatever. And then I can loosen this one right down here and tip her up, and I should be able to get to this bad boy underneath the AC. I may have to pop that right up to be able to get to that. Anyways, and that's pretty easy to change. It just screws it out of the block. Anyways, we're gonna start popping some bolts out of here. So, Mark and I got the water pump out. Right out down there, so we're going to use some brake clean and a razor. We're going to get that all cleaned up and ready to roll. We're going to get this thermostat housing cleaned up. Brake cleaner. That stuff works great on everything. Brake cleaner? I put that on everything! Yeah, so we got our old pump here. We got our bolts laid out that we don't mess up which one goes where, because a lot of these are longer than others. So, new pump, old pump. You always want to layer down and see what the heck you got to do to put on this. There is a pulley that was mounted on here, that will mount on here, but we won't do that till we have the water pump mounted, because we have to access these bolts here. We can't get to them with that pulley in the way. I mean, you could probably, but it's going to be a little bit of a bugger. Yeah, so yeah, so we got it all laid out. Mark cleaning up the thermostat housing. He's going to get it all mounted. We got our old thermostat back into this one. There's nothing wrong with it. We literally just replaced it when we changed the coolant. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll show you what's wrong with this one. So this pump, she gone. The bearing's gone in it. Big time. Like it's loose like you wouldn't believe. She squeals, and she squeals good. Alright, so we got the AC out of the way. There's our bugger right there. That's our coolant temperature sensor. That's it there. This is it. This is a standard brand. Part number. Okay. Where are we here? Well, we're made in Mexico. Warning, cancer. Oh. My phone doesn't stop. So this is the coolant temperature sensor. Professional quality automotive parts, blah blah blah. It's manufactured by Standard. There we go. TX195, and then whatever those other numbers are, if you can see them. But TX195 is the part number, manufactured by Standard. It's a coolant temperature sensor for the 5.7. Anyways,
Oh, it's too big.
it's too big.
I think so.
Here, I know what we'll do. This will probably be a smart idea. We're usually pretty good at this kind of stuff, being somewhat smart. How about we use this one, and we'll see if we can find a socket that fits it. Okay.
Is it down?
Yeah, fits. All right. Let's get this sucker on out of here, right, bud? Oh yeah, bud. All right. So you got 3 bolts to pop the AC unit out. You got this one right here, runs right on through, and then this one right here. Let's see if I can get a good view of this without putting too much shit down. Anyways, of course I'm in the way. Hold that. Yeah, you got this one right here. That screws all the way through, and then you have this one back here that actually secures it down right to the head. Now, logic tells me that you want to tighten the one down on the head first to secure the actual air conditioner to the head, and then tighten the other 2 down, then tighten this one down and this one down. The reason we're going to do that is if we tighten these 2 down first, you're going to end up having a bit of pressure on this part here. So you're going to have pressure on the AC unit as well as on the head. Now you got to remember, a lot of this newer stuff, everything is aluminum. So you're going to start breaking parts really fast. So you got to use your head with things like this. Just use logic, common sense, etc. So we're going to tighten that one down first, like I said, and then the other 2. All right, let's do it. So we got Mark in here. He's cleaning up all the mating surfaces where the pump's got to go. I'm actually going to jack this end of the truck up just a little bit, because we do have a little bit of coolant seeping out of those areas, and We don't want this seeping out. So I'm going to slide the jack under there, jack it up to tilt the motor backwards, so all that fluid that's slowly coming out of there won't. It'll stop and it'll go backwards. All right. Oh, shit. Dropped that bolt. It almost went in that hole. That would have sucked. Almost lost the bolt trying to show you guys something. Anyways, we got the gasket on this. It actually just goes into a groove here. You got to be very careful with that. Make sure you get it in there properly. Get her all cleaned up. We're gonna get her in there now. All right, let's bolt her up. So we got all these bolts back in here. We're just tightening them on down. And you want to tighten these up 18 foot-pounds. Did you hear it? I heard that son of a gun. So Mark and I got the pump in there. We had to change our lights, the other one died. I had to plug her back in. So we got the pump back in there. It's all torqued down to spec, calibrated spec. It's in there. We got our heater hoses hooked back up. My goodness, it's so hard to point at things. And so we got our heater hoses hooked back up. We got our lower rad and pump hose hooked back up. We're not going to do the top one until we're done. We got a pulley that we got to mount back on here, and actually we got two we got to mount back on here. The tensioner goes on here, and then that one pulley up top goes down here. So we're going to put that back on, then we're going to put the fan back on, and then we're going to put the fan shroud back on, and then our reservoir is back on. And the top line, fill her on up, burp the system, get her going. Alright, so we got her running, we're burping the system. Obviously, what you want to do is look for leaks. Don't see anything leaking. I think we're good on that aspect. Alright Mark, I think we got her, bud. Got the new pump on there, leak free. No more squeaking pulley. Got that code cleared up. The coolant temperature sensor, also that's a 19 millimeter, take it off. Just want to let you know there. I think we're good. We're gonna get this thing outside. We're gonna let her idle outside for a little while. Just make sure we got some hiccups out of it, but we do have other things we gotta do to this little truck. So stay tuned for the 2008 Dodge Ram preparation to get us going here. We got some leaf springs to put on the back, blah 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 blah, all that lovely nonsense. Brakes, rotors, yeah. All right, we're gonna get this out and get the loader back in because we got snow coming tonight, and it's not very warm out. It's warmer than it has been, but it ain't that warm, eh?
No, it's cold.
All right, we'll get this out and get the loader in. All right, so Mark, we got the truck out. It's still running, right? Cool. We got the loader in. She's in, put to bed. Woo! It is freaking cold outside.
It was running when I left it.
Yeah, it was running when you left it. Yeah, we got a bunch of little maintenance things we're going to be doing there this year, this winter, sorry. We still got to get the truck back in the shop. Like I said, to do some other things to it, which you guys will see on another video. So stay tuned for the 08 repair slash get it ready for work. to our standards, not frickin' whoever owned it priorly. Eh? They did some pretty shoddy work to this poor truck, let me tell you. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of this one. Want to close her out, Mark?
Yeah, well, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you on the next 08 Dodge, whatever the heck we're going to be doing to it. All right, have a good one.